Good morning, Favumsi. My name is Ryan Eade, and today I want to share with you a little about my journey of spiritual growth over the last few years and how it has impacted my life. Our family started attending Favumsi in 2019, and we began getting plugged in through Bible studies and small groups. I started to look for ways to serve and get connected with the praise team, where I could leverage some of my spiritual gifts as a musician. The more involved we started to become, the more we felt like Favumsi was our new church home, and we decided to join as members in March of 2020. Right before the pandemic shutdown. The Sunday that we were supposed to take our membership vows was actually the first Sunday that the church canceled in-person worship due to the pandemic. This was a time of uncertainty and anxiety for everyone. As the world shifted to virtual spaces for school and work, I felt more disconnected than ever. Thankfully, I received the opportunity to join the new stream team, leveraging some of my technology skills to help support our church's streaming services. I also applied my recent experience on the tech team to new ministries by serving with our youth tech team, helping them to learn the ropes of the sound booth and planting the early seeds of serving at church. These roles resonated with my belief that I was meant to serve in the background, supporting our church without stepping into any sort of visible leadership role. I've always felt hesitant about leadership at church, doubting myself and fearing the responsibility of guiding others without formal theological training. The thought of misinterpreting scripture or saying the wrong thing is scary to me. Through several of the sermon series, I started to work on my spiritual self and figure out where God was working in my life. During the All Things New series, we were called to leave behind our fear. The power to serve is built on our confidence in God. I knew that calling made sense, but it didn't make it any less difficult. I would need constant encouragement to grow. Another series that spoke to me was Life in Boxes. Owen and Hope used physical boxes to show how we tend to compartmentalize various portions of our life, keeping them separate. Our work, family, personal, and church lives were often purposely disconnected. I realized that I actively kept many aspects of my life separate, but worse yet, I was trying to hide some portions of my life from God. I didn't feel like I needed to bring God into my work environment, which contributed to the feeling that things were fractured. I knew that these teachings were calling me to become a better version of myself. I needed to find a way to see God working throughout all the different compartments of my life. Unfortunately, with the constant busyness of work and family commitments, I found it difficult to see God's work in my life at all. I was too busy focusing on all the things that I needed to get done each week. This led me to start to carve out times of quiet during commutes, camping trips, and hiking trips. In these moments of solitude, prayer became a conduit through which I could see God's work in the world around me. I've been blessed with many spiritual gifts, yet struggled how to apply them best to serve God. Our family has always prioritized financial giving, viewing it as returning to God what is already His. I realize that this principle also applies to spiritual gifts bestowed upon us. They are given to us to serve God in His kingdom. The idea propelled me to get involved more deeply with our church, stepping out of my comfort zone to serve in capacities that once seemed difficult, such as co-leading a Bible study for our scouting youth. It became clear to me that serving God isn't just about volunteering time. It's about dedicating our whole selves, our talents, and our hearts to Him. This led me to look for ways that I could push beyond my comfort level and serve in other capacities that I didn't feel confident in. I was called to serve on our staff parish relations committee. This was a big step for me personally because it put me in a role that definitely started to feel very visible, and that was the type of role I would normally navigate away from. Fortunately, I was able to use some of my work experiences to work on a subcommittee of SPRC and focus on some of the benefits around the staff. It made me feel like I could leverage some of the gifts that God gave me to help improve a part of our church. I know I need to continue to motivate myself to take the challenge and grow. One of my driving motivations has been to set an example for my sons. It's so important for them to see their dad living out a commitment of giving, serving, and loving God with all that I am. It's easy to tell your kids what you care about and what you want them to focus their attention on, but it's much more powerful to stand up and lead by example. This journey has led me to reflect deeply on what it means to be a disciple of Christ, integrating the teachings and sermons into my daily life. In sharing my story, I hope to encourage others to recognize and use their gifts in service to God. It's about moving from a place of doubt and hesitation to one of active faith and service. It's about seeing every aspect of our lives as an opportunity to serve and glorify God. Thank you for allowing me to share a little about my journey with you. I'm still working towards becoming a better disciple of Jesus, and each day is one step towards that goal.